Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you. Thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful you're here, and I'm here 365 days of the year, and some of you are too, which is awesome. But some of you also just come and go, and that's great. And thank you to everybody who's here, and hello to everybody who's new. So, all right, I've got questions for today. And I'm just moving this over to the side so I'll be able to move back and forth and answer things for you guys. A couple of things right up front. One, is anybody else like the energy is just, like can't get things going, and you try and things get in your way, and you just, I don't know, because I'm just getting this feeling. And I was talking to my friend Sarah, who some of you know from Book Art Media, the Book Art Media live streams. And Sandy's saying, yes. Okay. Well, so what I did is I had to look at the astrology. And I want to share this with you. Where is it? I think it might help explain kind of some of what's happening. Let me close this and I'll share it. See if I can do this without having to take down the overlay. Share screen. Famous Mama says, I'm a complete couch potato. Kathy Anderson, heavy feeling. Diane saying, I understand, I feel out of sorts. Nana Walling is saying, yes, need positive vibes. Okay, so it's definitely not just me, not just us. Okay, well, so let me see if you can see this. I think it's visible. Okay, you can't see me, but you can see. Hi, hello. I can see through the little thing. I'm gonna peek through the greenery over here. Anyway, so this is the chart, at least just now. And what seems to be happening is, and when you get a heavy feeling like this, where it's just heavy, you look to Saturn. Sorry, my pointer is pulling up the name of the file, which is just this long, crazy thing. But right here, this thing looks like a 5. That's Saturn. Is at 9 degrees. Now, you could ignore a lot of this other stuff, but really what's going on is this Saturn. Saturn is the party pooper. It just is. All right. Well, it's at 9 degrees. And so I'm looking around. It's like, what else is near 9 degrees? Oh, look at this. This is Uranus. This is the rebel. All right. And Uranus is in, you see this R over here? It's in retrograde. Oh, you can't see it through, right? There's an R right here. If I do that, no, it makes no difference if I make this bigger or smaller. I was hoping it might, but no. All right, trust me, there's an R next to Uranus over here. And just like these R's, these R's are here. There's one next to Uranus. And that means Uranus is actually backing up. So it's backing up into a square with Saturn. All right, so the way I describe this and what's going on is there. Okay, there, actually, this and something else is going on, but this I had a sort of amusing way to describe it. Saturn is the party pooper, and it absolutely is not the life of the party. Uranus is the life of the party. Well, you'd think Jupiter would be the life of the party, but Uranus is the one that's going to really dance on the tables. It's the rebel. It's the freedom lover. It's the I'm going to do what I want, right? And not only is it in a square, at a 9-degree angles of the square, and it causes a friction. So they're rubbing up against each other. the party pooper and the rebel, just right. But at the same time, just to annoy, it's like just to annoy Saturn, Uranus is backing up into a square. So I immediately thought of like on SNL, where you'd have a dancer, somebody who was dancing at a party, and they were trying to, annoy the party pooper, and then they'd be like backing up into him dancing. And the Saturn's just like, so Uranus, if anything, is just making Saturn mad. Saturn's just like, ha, 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 doing all these little dance moves, backing up into Saturn, and Saturn's just like, ugh. So, Michael Grant says, party on Saturn, party on Jove, party time, excellent. Yes. So Saturn is I think Saturn right now is particularly annoyed. I will be the wet blanket on this party. If it's the last thing I do, I am offended. Yes, Cat Shepherd. And Saturn's like, get down, you idiot. Yes, exactly. So the other thing that's going on is Venus, which is what and how we love. And it's also known as the lesser beneficent. So it's brings almost as much good luck as Jupiter. But Venus is coming up to be in the same place with Pluto in the sky, which is this intensity, Pluto. But we're going through our Pluto return. So we've already got this intense energy. And and here comes Venus, what and how we love, just coming by, and suddenly it's like she falls in a well. And it's like, wow. And it's very intense. And she's like, okay. Because Venus is actually, forgive me, but she can be a little bit frothy at times, depending on what she's doing. And quite often, if you have if you're in a relationship and you've got a Pluto and Venus conjunction, it's actually quite passionate and lovely. But between Uranus making Saturn mad, so Saturn being extra stick in the mud, and Venus, the lesser beneficent, who feels like it's like she just tripped and fell into a I don't know, pit of intensity. And she's like, what the? I think that's part of what's going on here. So our emotions are intense, but Saturn is making them even more, and Pluto makes them fixed, but Saturn's being extra wet blanket stick in the mud. I think that's what's going on, but the energy's awful. It's just awful. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you in case you are suffering like the rest of us, and it sounds like you are. So we'll get through it. These things pass. They will. It just takes a little bit of time. And things move. So, all right. The other thing, this is just not related to anything, but Sarah, speaking of Sarah, she tweeted this morning. Sarah tweeted this morning. I cannot with her. She tweeted, I need somebody to go sniff Robert Pattinson for me and report back for science. And I was like, what? Hashtag jingle bells, hashtag Batman smells. I'm just going to go with the readings. Thank you, guys. Anyway. 10 minutes in. All right, we're going to look at Mark Meadows. There we go. Kathy Anderson says, yeah, Sarah strikes again. Love to Lose says, Robin lays an egg. Yes. All right, so at, well, it's actually going to be really 10:30. Here we go. All right, let us go down into the muck, my friends. Once more unto the breach, my friends. Once more into the political breach of fascist stupidity. Okay, so okay, Mark Meadows is, there's all this talk about Mark Meadows is going to, if he has potentially the best claim for executive privilege out of all of them who are trying to pull this. Well, Mark, didn't time this right, did ya? Mark Meadows may have inadvertently waived any privilege he may have had, according to Adam Schiff, if he wrote about January 6th in his new book, which I believe is coming out Tuesday or something. So Meadows is cooperating now with the January 6th committee, kind of, maybe. So Mark. That wasn't so smart, was it? Oh no, it's all secret. I cannot tell you anything, but buy my book. Excuse you? All right, so Mark Meadows. How's this going to go? Seriously, Confederacy of Dunces. Whoopsies. Okay, yeah, Mark Meadows is like, oh crap. That's the energy I was getting. Oh, like this moment of I done messed up. Mark Meadows. Because Trump only works with the best people. The biggest. The grandest juries. The biggest morons. The greatest, most extraordinary, overachieving traitors. Fool. Yeah, that wasn't so smart now, was it? What a maroon. What an ultra maroon. 5 of Swords. Insult to injury. 7 of Swords. The Thief. Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Wands. Oh yeah, you're fighting for the Trump world fascist state. 4 of Swords. Quiet as a tomb. His fight is over. Fight is over. You have to tell what you, because he apparently there's a lot in his book. So even if he tries to say, oh well, that's privileged, it's like, okay, so why was this privileged? Is this conversation privileged? But this conversation we're asking about isn't. No, it doesn't work that way. This is he just metaphorically or legally just kind of dug his own grave on the executive privilege argument. Thank you, Azalea. Thank you. So yeah, you're toast, dude. So how's just a few cards. How is excuse me. Is Meadows going to actually cooperate? Is he going to be useful? is he going to be useful? Tisrai just said, Meadows has finger painted himself into a corner. Floating Lotus says the term is hoisted his own petard. Yeah. Kathy Anderson, yes, his book is pleading the fifth. His book would like to plead the fifth. So Mark Meadows is going to control. Oh, boy, that energy, it's just like you just want to the arguing back and forth, the energy back and forth. I just kind of want it to be like, okay, I'll just be down here because I don't want to singe my hair off. Ooh. Man. Knight of Wands. He's going to fight. He's going to fight for Trumpism. Please. You have a leg to stand on. 6 of Wands. 4 of Cups. Meadows, the committee's going to clean your clock. Yeah. And 4 of Cups. He's quite often the 4 of Cups is a cup of refusal, but in this one, it almost feels like, well, they have all of this information already, and they have information there, and he's, yeah, you don't have a legal leg to stand on, and the committee's going to clean your clock, Meadows. So be an American, tell the truth, lay it all out on the line, and take whatever lumps come to you. If you are an American, you stand up. You stand up against authoritarianism. Anyway, thank you, Marby. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Renee said getting an offer he doesn't want nor like. Exactly. Okay. Kitty Arbuckle says, yes, I wrote a book as my senior project. What? There's no talent section? Okay. All right. So at 18 minutes in, we've got a lot of the January 6th stuff right up front. Representative Benny Thompson, who's the chair of the January 6th Select Committee, is certain that taking of the 5th by Jeffrey Clark, come on, Jeffrey, you can do it, and others is proof something illegal went on. He's saying to 5th, against invoking the 5th Amendment is so that you do not have to incriminate yourself. So the theory is, well, at least by logical, the logical path there is you did something illegal or something you're afraid is illegal. So I'm just, okay, we know about a lot of the, we know a lot about the insurrection, possibly trying to tamper with elections, a lot of stuff like that. But I want to get a sense of how, what is he hiding from? What is, I know instant I touch his energy, he's really afraid of losing his law license, but how bad is it? Is it beyond something that we know? Is it, I mean, do they, I mean, what if there are witnesses to, this is a total hypothetical. Let's say that the event planners were planning the January 6th insurrection with Trump, And there are multiple witnesses where someone said, something bad could happen to Mike Pence, and total hypothetical. Trump said he gets what he deserves or something. I mean, and somehow I think Clark was more involved in the state election meddling, but I'm just trying to get a sense from Clark, from his end, how bad he's pleading the fifth, but just what level of incrimination, how bad is this? So I just thought we should look. Judgment. Very much facing judgment. Okay. Ace of Wands. So that's acting for the far right. Eight of Wands. Acting all over for the far right. Two of Pentacles. That's undermining the situation, the Republican... it's not just Republican power. It's undermining the situation, undermining democracy. We know that. Here's the Star. And the Ten of Swords. I don't think this Star is him. What he knows could take down a number of people. And it might even involve Trump. That's what it feels like. This is bad. I mean, the Housewives Tarot, I thought, I felt like using it today. But if you're looking at the regular Rider-Waite, this Star next to a Ten of Swords, it's a brutal image in the Rider-Waite. So just because she's happy with her pie and this is just a pincushion, do not underestimate just how bad this energy is and how big this energy is. Okay. So if that's what he's afraid of, is that what is going to happen? Is that going to come out? So Michael Grant says, never talk to the police, even if you are innocent. Yes, but if the January 6th Select Committee calls you in with questions about your involvement in a potential insurrection, I would think as an American that you would say, what time do you want me there? That's, I don't know, it's just my way of looking at it. I could be wrong. Al Menzies asking, would the January 6th insurrection have been worse if we didn't have COVID restrictions? I think that's a guarantee. I think that is an absolute guarantee. I think there would have been more, there would have been a lot more bystanders caught up in it. And the more bystanders you had, the more you have opportunity, you have more wild cards in the situation because you don't know how they're going to react. Queen of Pentacles. There's multiple Republicans. For some reason for Queens, I get the group of, this is the group of Republicans. There's a Tower. I can't look at that card without just thinking, one, ooh, two, it's like I can smell that. The lime jello and yeah. Seven of Wands. Yeah. That's not a good day. Page of Pentacles. Three of Swords. Eight of Swords. This is, and yes, this woman is tied to a cocktail toothpick. This is not good. And it's not just the one. They were all involved. This is going to look really bad when it comes out. This is going to look really, really bad for all of them. Seven of Wands is a card of being on the defensive. In this deck, it's having to clean a toilet with a toothbrush. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, these guys are in trouble. These guys are in big legal heartache, legally hemmed in. Play dangerous games, or play stupid games. No, it is. Play stupid games, win prizes that show how stupid you are. So, all right. So, Azalea says that's a lot of swords with the tower. True. True. All right. 26 minutes in. We have another January 6th committee question. 26. The January 6th committee has vowed to hold multiple public hearings in 2022. Matter of fact, she outlining what went on that day, and in the Trump White House, or the Trump White House response in quote in vivid color. Whew. How gnarly are these multiple day-long hearings going to be? How harrowing. Will people be paying attention? And then after that, I want to ask, how will it affect the midterms? But first, how gruesome, awful, riveting, effective. Ace of Swords, Sword of Truth. How effective are these hearings going to be? Is the right just going to be able to just, yeah, whatever, just ignore it? Or will the majority of the country be like, you got to be kidding me? January 6th, public hearings laying out. And Liz Cheney will be talking through a good chunk of it. I mean, I'm hearing in my head, I'm hearing her voice talking. So it's not just the Democrats talking, it's her too. And I don't care what these guys are trying to say. Anybody who tries to say that Liz Cheney isn't a Republican, Dick Cheney's daughter, Liz Cheney. Nice try. Okay, hearings. January 6th Select Committee hearings. Public. Televised. How gnarly are they going to be? And we may watch some of them together, or I might do my readings in the evening when they're over. I don't know. We'll have to see. Four of Pentacles. They're trying to hold everything in, the Republicans. The Pentacles are the Republicans. Trying to hold everything in. You don't see anything. But they don't have the it's like, okay, I've got this plate. That won't help me. That won't help me. That won't help me. That won't help me. So I'm getting there. Page of Wands. It wasn't serious. I wasn't serious. It was just a pew pew. It wasn't. I wasn't. No, it wasn't so bad. I didn't do much. Judgment. Ace of Wands. You took action. This is how. Four of Cups. It's all being handed to you. It's like we've had enough. We've had enough. Oh, but wait. There's more. Page of Swords. We've got it starts and ends with a lot of these people saying, "Well, I didn't do much. I really major arcana judgment. You did act, and we have the receipts, whether you like it or not." So, is it going to have an effect? I mean, like, are people going to be watching? Are not just we're new age political junkies. That's if there's a demographic for my channel here at Black and Orange, it skews pretty heavily new age political junkies like me. So not just us. Three of Wands. What you put out there will come back to you. You sent this stuff out. You were expecting a specific response. Nice try pretending you weren't. Six of Wands. Temperance. Six of Pentacles. High Priestess. Page of Wands. There are people who did cooperate. There are secrets. I think some of the more of Trump people who are ignorant of the news, they will ignore a lot of it. But if somebody's going to be doing something else, and particularly not listening on purpose, it's really low information Trump supporters types. And it's going to be laid out in such a way, the secrets laid out bit by bit, step, 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 step. It's going to be infuriating, but you don't need me to tell you that. Floating Lotus is saying, I watched the entire Watergate hearings back in the 70s. And it was getting incredibly high Nielsen ratings, but that was when there was no cable news spouting garbage. True. And Betty Harper saying Liz Cheney is GOP through and through, but she believes in a democracy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't agree with their policies. I don't agree with Kinzinger's policies. But I respect them for standing up for the country and for what's right. So that's true. Stephen Haggerty, the timeline is very important. So, all right, at 33:30, will this have an effect on the mid-times? I'm not trying to get the timestamps or anything in my head, so things are getting confused. No, 33:30. Will the January 6th public hearings, explanations, all of that, will it have an effect on the midterm elections in November 8th? I think you guys told me, because I had it wrong. I had the date wrong. But you helped me, and I'm grateful. All right. Will these hearings have an effect on the midterms? The Emperor, that tub of lard. Yep. He's right there. Ten of Cups. Boy, they have got... Come in, look at the party. Three of Wands. This is what they sent out. This is the stuff they did. Two of Cups. Partnership. Working together to get this information out. Four of Wands. Mar-a-Lago. Two of Pentacles. Four of Wands. There are going to be a lot of people retiring from their seats, but also Trump's trying to get involved as well. So this is also a Mar-a-Lago card. And this Two of Pentacles, Republican support getting shaky. That's it. I do have a King of Cups next card, but really just shaky. Shaky's good, better than strong, but really, Republicans did all of this and it's not going to affect the midterms? Oh, no. Oh, nay. Will the hearings and any resulting legal action or legal actions affect the midterms? Whole different thing. Let me see. Midterm elections. Gerrymandering will keep some of the Republicans in place. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. So going out and Republicans fighting, mowing the lawn in a suit to try to make themselves, I'm useful. I believe in everyone working and and you too can be rich. And when you mow your lawn, you will be doing it in a tuxedo like me. Nine of Swords. Oh, Grandma's getting feisty. All right, Nine of Swords. Temperance. Fear of this is worry. Worry about going to prison. Worry about going to having the legal system kind of fall down on your head. This is a Major Arcana Temperance. This needs to happen so that this kind of insurrection stuff doesn't happen again. All right, Page of Cups. They're going to try to make it, when the Democrats are talking, they're going to try to make it like, what can we do to help people? They might actually be able to focus on that rather than come across as gloating. There's the Star. And the Queen of Swords. There are going to be a lot of investigations ongoing. Some voters will be able to dismiss some of the investigations because they won't be concluded in time. But she's also in this deck. Queen of Swords is particularly. Don't mess with her. You really don't mess with her. So. Where the rubber hits the road. See, we've been reading on this all along, and it's been saying that that all the legal stuff would affect the midterms. At the same time, though, we're getting closer and closer to when it's actually happening, where the rubber is going to hit the road, and we're in our Pluto return, even if it's waning. It's still, and some people will say that it's not going to be. It depends on how you calculate it. at the farthest out, some people are saying it's more like 2024 when we'll have our Pluto return. See, that's the problem. We're going around the sun. The planet's going around the sun. All the planets are going around the sun here, right? Even our planetoid Pluto, right? First of all, it has an elliptical orbit. It's also not on the same plane. It's actually tilted. So it's doing this. Kind of like threading a needle up and down, as opposed to like a turntable, like a record on a turntable. It's doing that, right? And back in 1999, Pluto was actually closer to the sun than Neptune because of its weird orbit. But even with all of this happening, the solar system is in a galaxy, so it's moving that way, slowly, but it's moving. And then the whole galaxy, relative to our current position, is actually moving sort of up. So we're not just going on on a turntable. The whole thing, if you see a plot of the planets as they're moving, we're making these corkscrew. All the planets are making this corkscrew motion all the way up. So it's not. So anyway, that's a kind of, it's a little confusing. But this whole Pluto return for the U.S., it's gnarly. Don Hub, I like that. It's okay, Pluto. You're still a planet to me, dude. Pluto doesn't need to be called a planet to do exactly what it's here to do. So, secrets. So I'm asking about the midterms. 10 of Cups. All right. Democrats will be in better shape than we normally would after having just technically won the Senate and the House, plus the presidency. 3 of Swords, legal pain. Also, swords can be voting. The Sun. Yeah. The far right, the far right Republicans, they're pushing that racism button for the emperor. But most of the country doesn't want to be racist. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm not saying there isn't latent racism even in the people who mean very well. We all need to get better at that. There are things just built into our language, built into our reactions, it's just baked into the system, but it can be unlike in a cake that's not permanent. We can get it out. So if there are a lot of people, the Republicans trying to push that racist button, like Tucker Carlson, I know I've said it before, but Tucker Carlson going on his show and saying immigrants are coming to this country and making it dirtier. He literally said that. That's not taken out of context. I've seen the video. You racist. Today's episode is brought to you by the letters P, O, and S. Tucker Carlson. $44 and a bit. Okay. 44.30. Okay. Yes, Katie Arbuckle. Pluto is here to clean out the waste. All right, so at 44:30, what we're looking at is Janelle had a question. Michael Flynn's deposition is scheduled for tomorrow. How's that going to go? Will he show up? Michael Flynn. Mr. QAnon supporter who Linwood has on recording saying QAnon is nonsense. All that stuff he's been spouting and going on about, he's admitted he's lying. Nice. I don't think that's going to have much effect on tomorrow, but okay. So Michael Flynn, you're gonna show up tomorrow? He's so angry. This guy needs to tie himself to a therapist's couch. He really does. Like, just go into a really, really good therapist, and I know they don't have couches anymore, but bring one with you. Bring one of those Freud couches with you, and just roll it in, sit down, wrap the rope around yourself, hand the ends to the therapist, and say, just tie me down, and we're just going to keep going until I get to the source of this incredible anger and this incredible sense of fear and betrayal, or whatever it is that is causing me to burn my whole life to the ground every chance I get. So Desrat saying throw him in a vat of marinara. That's closer to that's closer to a punishment I can get behind, because we're very nonviolent around here. That's more like a prank. Nah, still forcing somebody physically. Don't like it. All right. Michael Flynn, where are you? You gonna show up tomorrow? Stubborn. Really stubborn. Who really stubborn? You have to understand, he went into, for those who don't know, I know a lot of you do, but for those who don't know, even before the January 6th insurrection, best of my knowledge, it was before that. It might have been after, but I think it was before that. Flynn actually went to see Trump in the Oval Office, and he was actually suggesting calling for martial law to stop the transfer of power. I mean, he was talking so crazy that other people who were there, including some lawyers, were just like, okay, you're out of here. No, no. Now I really know why I felt drawn to use this deck today. Oh my gosh. That was for Flynn's reading. Yeah. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, the part of the group of, I'm still laughing at that, part of the group of Republicans who were willing to be in the cult. I'm so sorry. Be in the cult, drive off that cliff. Ace of Cups, Judgments, Ace of Wands. This is the committee. Him facing huge judgment, but he's going to take an action. This could be him getting up and walking out. This is him acting. And yes, he was a part of this. And if everything came out that he has been a part of, he would face major arcana justice. He doesn't recognize the committee's power over him. Allison Jacobs, this is the Housewives deck. Hello, Allison. Janelle Keller saying popcorn time. Isn't it always popcorn time? Any more on Michael Flynn tomorrow? Because he's gonna. It feels like him acting out. Knight of Pentacles. That's aggressive. That's coming forward. He's got issues. He doesn't have a leg. He doesn't have a legal leg to stand on, and he was a part of things he shouldn't have been. Three of Pentacles. There was a plan. Knight of Swords. That's aggressive law enforcement. They're going to be questioning this plan. He's going to be pretending he either didn't have anything to do with it, or honestly, it doesn't even feel like he's there, or he's not there for long. I don't know how stupid he's going to be about all of this, but it just feels like he's digging his heels in. Really digging his heels in. And they're coming for him. Because your plan, the Republican plan, I mean, you can look at it as, oh, she's her poor arms, but she's building this display to raise up Republican stuff. Well, or it's democracy, and she's knocking out that support, and everything's going to come crashing down. But this Knight of Swords here, that's aggressive law enforcement. That's aggressive questioning, aggressive, maybe DOJ. I don't know. I don't know how far it's going to go, but boy, his energy is not good. Janelle Keller says, I read the Jeffrey Clark deposition and it was fascinating. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know I could. I didn't know we could do that. I would definitely want to read those. I definitely want to read depositions if they're available. I didn't know that. Al Menzies saying the guy is nuts and a Cubert. You're not wrong. Okay. So at ow. Okay. Wow, shooting pain. Flynn, you need help. And the amount of stress on his body, wow. The amount of stress on his body from the amount of anger he's carrying around. Oh, all right. Get out of my energy. Oh, that's better. Okay. Better. Okay. Michael Grant saying Flynn had a super high security clearance and access to the actual operation of this country's intel gathering apparatus. The man is highly dangerous. Yeah, especially since he's turned against the country. Okay. 5430. 5430. We had another question from Janelle. Didn't have a lot of questions this morning, so thank you, especially to Janelle. So thank you for everybody who left a question before I started. I keep saying we because I keep thinking of like we're in this together. It isn't the royal we, I promise. No. Are we going to have a John Dean type come forward and blow the whole insurrection thing wide open? Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Oh, please, oh, please. A John Dean type forward. Got a death card here. All right, is there going to be somebody who finally just says, wakes up and goes, oh, I'm an American. Wow, what was I thinking? Why would I be a traitor to my own country? That's ridiculous. I must tell them everything I know. Or, I really, really, really don't want to go to prison. I really, really don't want to go to prison. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Okay, what do you want to know? I'll just tell you anything. That's more likely, but we'll see. Oh, thank you, Janelle. Azalea says, it seems natural to say we with all of us here. I know, right? Hanged man. Imagine what would happen to that person. Oh, imagine Trump, his ilk, the Jim Jordans and Ted Cruz's and boy. Tower. Empress. Oh, could it be a woman? The woman who brings Trump down. 3 of Cups. Oh, that's some high-fiving. That's some King of Swords. That's a prosecutor. 6 of Pentacles. That's giving a little. That's a Republican giving a little. Although that might be Cheney. That's insurrection. Democrats working together. Prosecution. That's giving a little. Let me see if I can get any more information. So I'm going to come forward and say, someone going to channel their inner George Washington. Oh, I'm getting the image of Peter Pettigrew in my head again. So it might be a weasel who wants to get out of trouble, but it doesn't necessarily feel high level. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Oh, big judgment. They're all facing huge judgment. 7 of Pentacles. What? Hang on. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on there. I took my antihistamine this morning. Okay. Thank you, Shia, and we love having you here. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. So fruits of labor, 6 of Pentacles. This was what was done. This is somebody talking. And the 2 of Wands, communications. The committee Actually, there are definitely going to be some people who are willing to give some information. But what it feels like is the real Deep Throat John Dean figure is going to be their computers. That's what it feels like. Receipts, receipts, receipts. And John Dean was using personal email as well for his job. But many of them were. But her emails, but your emails. All right, so at 1 hour, 30 seconds, 1:30. So, actually make this 101. Okay, I'm going to try again to try to clear this. I'm so sorry. It'll be just one moment. I hope that helps. Sorry. Okay. So at 1:02. Okay. I hope I did mute that, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Gosh. I'm okay. I'm totally fine. Sometimes my allergies just act up, and I haven't had anything that should have set them off. But oh well. So at 1:02:15, Politico is reporting that the U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson, we love her, noted that Trump and his allies, quote, stoked the flames of fear, unquote, that led up to the January 6th riot, and indicated Trump and others' remarks as pushing towards that goal for those leading the rally. Will charges be filed? If you can't stoke a panic for fear of other people being hurt, how can you legally stoke a riot? If you cannot yell fire in a crowded theater, how can you stand up there and say we're going to fight and we're going to go up there and we're going to and. Well, next year, it definitely feels like we're going to have times where we're going to be saying, okay, so which court case is Trump going to be involved with today? Which courtroom is he going to be in today? Thank you for playing the magician. Yeah, you acted. You took, it was your decision to stand up, to raise your hand, to point at the Capitol building and incite a riot. I'm going to be going with you. I'm going to be leading you. We're going to fight like, you should be held accountable, especially since you're a leader. King of Pentacles, he wasn't alone. No, the other people up on that stage who said horrible things. King of Wands, King of Pentacles, King of Wands. The right and the far right. Five of Wands. This is that kind of stirring people up. So you get the people with the wands fighting. Cat Shepherd, yes. A leader, allegedly. Oh, Al Menzi. We're going to be playing Courtroom Bingo. Okay. Six of Swords. 10 of Swords. Yeah. These are the people. This is what they did. This feels like they will eventually. They will be held to account for inciting a riot. But that's also major. That's also minor arcana. Suburban Housewife says, "What about the burner phones?" True, true. And what about Trump himself? And what about Four of Cups? That's a refusal to help. Oops, Death card. Knight of Wands and the Sun. That's everything brought out in the open. This was these are your white supremacist groups. This is chanting HMP, the first of that being hang. And you can put the rest together. I don't like saying that. HMP, chanting, Knight of Wands, people fighting for the far right. There will be some accountability, but what about Trump? Is Trump going to be held accountable for inciting a riot? All right, cards falling out. What fell out? 10 of Wands, that's a burden, and that's Judgment. I do not want this man to become ill. I do not want him to pass away. I want there to be justice, and I want him to be alive to face it. Linda Kingsley saying that Four of Cups is a card that keeps coming up over and over. True. Devil card. Absolute corruption. 10 of Cups. 2 of Pentacles. It's a high bar. 9 of Wands. They have the information. This is all weakening the Republican Party. And the far right feeling beaten up, but going after an ex-president is a high bar. I don't care if it's a high bar. We don't have kings. We don't. That isn't how we do around here. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care. The whole point of this country is you don't get to get a better justice system than I do. I don't get to get a better justice system than you do. Mm-mm. Five of Cups. It's disappointment. 2 of Pentacles again. Oh, okay. Apparently it didn't shuffle. There's so many things that Trump should be held accountable for. There are so many. Oh my gosh, there's so many cases. I wonder if some things are never going to go to trial because there are so many trials that it would have to be, for him to be there, it would have to, like, for the next 10 years, he'd be in court.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
I didn't ask you anything, but thank you. Sorry, that was... Anyway. All right, 109.30. Word on the street. What is this? Word on the street is that if Trump makes another bid for the White House, oh, I remember this. Yes. Sorry, I sift through so much news that I forget. Sometimes it's like, what was that? Oh, yes, I remember that question now. Word on the street that is if Trump makes another bid for the White House in 2024 and wins, he's not going to, but okay, he may be heading there by himself. Melania is said to have no desire to return to Pennsylvania Avenue. When asked about it on Fox and Friends, Trump immediately refuted the claim and went on about how wonderful a job she did. Who gives up about Christmas? A wonderful job she did with the blood trees and the creeping, shadowy white. You know that's what she's like inside, right? Your art reflects who you are. What you find pleasing reflects who you are. She's that scary inside. Anyway, Trump immediately refuted the claim and went on about what a wonderful job she did and how she's loved by the people. The people, the majority of the people are like, run, girl, run. Should he win, and he's not going to, would Melania make the trek back north or back to Washington, D.C. with him, or would Ivanka serve as de facto first lady? So, hang on. Yeah, I have lipstick on my teeth now. Hang on. See? The wild breakout energy. I'm trying to hold it together. Anyway. So, Melania. I was reading an article the other day. Someone had written an article about she's designed a couple of tarot decks. And I thought, oh, this will be interesting because, in my spare time, that's what I'm trying to work on. And one of the things that this woman who created these couple of tarot decks said was the art you create reflects your own life. And I think it's more specific to your inner life, which made me think, what does it say about me that I don't have my cute kitty tarot mug with me? Or it's a lot of kitsch and cuteness and color and But I know. Yes, Nancy Blecka. Remember the bloody Christmas trees? Yes. Michael Grant has some lyrics for us today. I'm dreaming of a red Christmas, just like they had in fascist land. Yes. So, Melania. I was just going to skip the actual reading. It was like, All right, Ava Braun. She's done. She's done. She's under contract. She's done. It's like, all right, let me look at my schedule for this month. What am I contractually obligated to do? That's what it feels like. And she's angry with him because they have a lot in common and he destroyed their marriage. And he put her at risk, her health at extreme risk. That's so gross. She's done. But they can be in the same place together, and they do have a son together. But she doesn't trust him at all. Give me the money. Just give me the money. Queen of Wands. Oh, and she's like, oh, I'm supposed to be the queen to your fascist king. Yeah, that ship has sailed. She's not the Queen of Wands. She's the Queen of Pentacles. To quote the Apprentice theme song, money, money, money. Melania, Two of Wands. Well, you know that's not her cleaning. She doesn't. Six of Pentacles. King of Swords. 10 of Pentacles. Hierophant. Republican. This is a wish for complete Republican control of the government. Two of Wands is communication traditionally. Six of Pentacles is giving the bare minimum. But at the center, these are prosecutors. This is legal stuff. Whatever this dream over here, it's nothing to do with them. They're going to have legal problems. So, and she's a rotten human being. I'm sorry, she just is. It's my opinion. I know she was in a bad situation. I know that to some extent, Mr. Trump, he can put up a false front for a while and treat people better for a little while. And she was desperate. But there's a line in a song by Kimbra. I don't know if you've ever heard Kimbra. Kimbra. She's actually from New Zealand, but that doesn't matter. Oh, she sang the female part in that song, Somebody That I Used to Know. She's friends with him, so she sang that part in that song. But anyway, Kimbra has her own music, and there's a song with really good dance numbers in it, called Good Intentions. And there's a line in there that says, "You've tainted every minute till death do we part." Yep. So, Gautier, that was it. Thank you, Basilia. But I do love the dancing, especially the guy. He did all that choreography himself. It's really good. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, they're both rotten. And she's burned through whatever empathy I had for her, really. But yikes. Anyway. All right. 1/18/30. As a two-parter. 1/18/30. All right. The Los Angeles Times recently posed a question worth investigating. Are the conservative Supreme Court justices really as driven by personal belief, not legal grounding, as they seem? I would think, yeah, but Klobuchar is saying that the key to the abortion rights debate may be found in the political process, not the courts. Will politicians finally make women's rights an actual law and not leave things up to court interpretation? That's the key. But in asking about the conservative SCOTUS justices, I don't think there's much question about are they driven by personal belief. I think it's more, do they know Do they know the damage they are doing? Let me just put no damage they're doing, because it's not just it's to women's rights, but it's also to the Supreme Court itself. So let's look at that first. We'll look at those backwards knuckle dragging step for delusional justices on the Supreme Court. Aspie Third Eye says the ERA was never ratified and it needs to be. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. Do those conservative justices, do they understand the damage they're about to cause? And how cold and cruel and narrow-minded and stupid do you have to be, emotionally dead do you have to be to say that there do not need to be any abortions in the U.S. because women can just give their children up for adoption? The Stepford justice, that was her argument. Wow. Ice Queen? Oh, boy. Okay. I'll calm down. Tower. Yeah. The damage you will potentially do to the Supreme Court, to women, to... This is going to be your thing in history. And if you think it's going to be like, yes, they'll look back at us, that we righted this wrong and blah, blah, blah. No. No. Nine of Pentacles. It's the sitting pretty. I'm white. I'm well off. I'm well educated, at least on paper, not emotionally, but on paper. And nothing about me stinks. Therefore, I am in the perfect position to understand what's going on in the world and to pass judgment. Until last count, we were at what, 330 million people in the U.S., over half of which are women. Let me start breaking down. So even if you start breaking down to childbearing age, how many millions of women? Tens of millions? Tens upon tens upon tens of millions of women? People are delusional. Four of Wands. Oh yeah, just this lovely, idyllic, just clean things up. Yeah, I'll just sit here with my martini. There's, yes, just some cleaning, yes. Five of Cups. Yeah, and that's what it does to the rest of the country. Three of Cups. The Sun. They're delusional. This is the nuclear family with 2.5 children, and everything is just so. No, they do not realize what they're doing because they are totally divorced from reality. Gretchen, I'm so sorry. Jack Imzik? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. But Gretchen was saying they're so far removed from the real world. Yes, absolutely. Aspie Third Eye says it's all about making white babies. Oh, by force? Ew. It is that base and that obvious. Tara S., thank you. 65 million women approximately. Oh my gosh. Cat Shepherd says, speaking as an adoptee, I can attest adoption is not a panacea. Hug. Sending you a hug, Cat. Okay. So that's that. 125 is the other question. Name here, 125. So will politicians finally grow a spine, stand up for women and women's rights? Will politicians finally make women's rights an actual law and not leave things up to a court interpretation? Politicians, will you finally put women's rights in law and tell the Supreme Court to go whistle? King of Pentacles. Oh, yes, darling. Make me a sandwich while you're up. I've got my pipe and slippers. Two of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. Seven of Cups. Star. Six of Wands. It doesn't feel like it. Not for a while. Exactly, Michael Grant. It's not just women's rights. It's a medical treatment and privacy issue. Yes. Old men have no business legislating anybody's reproductive rights away. Thank you. This doesn't feel great. Pipe and slippers. Oops, oops, oops. Don't fall upside down. They're going to weaken it. I can tell that the energy is clear as day. They're going to weaken, severely weaken our rights. It's the energy is just right there. King of Wands. Oh yeah, and twist and the logic, twist it around and to get to their extremism. Yeah. Two of Wands, Three of Wands, and the burden falls on women. This is either the ERA or this is a woman politician in the future who is going to stand up. There's some big force, big feminine force here that's going to stand up and say enough. It's not right now, though. It's not, it's not 1,000 years in the future, but it's not right now. But that energy's there. All right, well, that's crazy making. 129. Chris Cuomo. Was not only fired from CNN, but is now facing harassment charges of his own. Will the Cuomo family ever be a force to be reckoned with in politics or the media again? All right, Cuomo's. The brothers. Why can I suddenly not think of the ex-governor's first name? Anthony? Is it Anthony Cuomo? I don't know. I get into this state and I'm juggling all this stuff, and basic stuff I know just goes poof. Older brother, younger brother. Anthony. Chris Cuomo. Mario? Is it Mario? Anyway, the older brother, the younger brother. Page of Wands. Wands are symbolic in questions like this. Andrew, that was it, wasn't Anthony? Andrew, thank you. Thank you. It's the weirdest thing. I come on camera. part of doing this job, or doing this, being here every day, is being willing to come up here and look like an idiot. And here I am. All right, Andrew. 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, Devil. You're done. Chris Cuomo. 3 of Swords, Page of Swords, Ace of Swords. He can potentially rehabilitate himself with somebody, with something media related. But it's going to be an uphill battle. But over time, he might be able to claw back to something. But big bro, you're done. That's all I'm kidding. All right. Teresa Dale saying Mario was their dad. Ah, okay. And Vicky K, thank you. Thank you, Dawn. All right, so at 1:32:30, something has got to be done. Okay, about 1:32:45, the International Space Station had to perform evasive maneuvers to avoid space junk. This time it wasn't from the Russians. A portion of an old Pegasus rocket fired from the US in 1994 was to blame. Will the super smart people at NASA figure out a way to combat space pollution? If not, how long until something disastrous happens? And that's where we're headed if they don't do something. This whole space junk thing, it's no joke, and it cannot continue. It just can't. Space junk. Taylor B says it's a psychic thing, Autumn. You all seem to have that problem. I think it's going into an alpha state where you can be more intuitive, more creative, more all that kind of stuff. You go in an alpha state when you're doing art, when you're doing a lot of spiritual stuff. But when you're in that state, you access to the archives back here, it's a little iffy. So Ton Cub says, because we're doing so well with earth pollution. Yeah. Whew. Al Menzies saying one of those billionaires was going to start some company to pick up space junk. Let's hope. Space junk problem. Two of Cups, working together. Does feel international. Okay. 10 of Swords. Yeah, they're tiny little things can come along and just but a hole straight through, and your atmosphere's gone, and you're, you know, Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Moon, Ace of Cups, I wonder how much of that space junk is ferrous metal. This moon feels very powerful, as in, I wonder if they'll put something up there to travel around that will gather some of it up. It's like a second moon, a second satellite, a second moon around the Earth. Obviously not the size of the moon, but something that's, and it getting bigger and bigger as it's picking up more and more space junk. Is that a thing? Is that possible? I know it wouldn't all be ferrous metal, but, and some of it's just this big, and some of it's like parts of rockets. They're big. Huh. Something magnetic, yeah. I'm getting another moon. Like maybe it needs to be up there long enough that it starts being visible under certain conditions. That's what I'm getting. That's interesting. Giant magnet on the moon, it's too far out. The actual moon, it's too far out. The moon is so far out, you could take literally all of the planets, and you could put them, if you could put them right up against each other, like next to each other, you could fit all of them between the Earth and the moon. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Mercury, Venus, Mars. They would all fit between the Earth and the moon. The moon is out there, and it's moving away. So JCCat67 says, oh my gosh, I want to be a space junk collector. Yeah. Jolie says, will a magnet work with zero gravity, though? Well, magnetic force is its own kind of force. It doesn't need gravity to work. So, in theory. Michael Grant says 250,000 miles. Yeah. It's a trek. All right. And that's going to do it for me for today. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I so look forward to spending time with you guys. You are awesome. And I'm grateful for you. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I'm wishing all the best for you. It's 1:49 here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I will be over at the Book Art Media channel to do the creative daily creative sprints. If you have any creative projects, come on over. I'm still working on ye old writing, and I will be right back here tomorrow, as usual, because I'm here 365 days of the year, and I will see you then. And don't forget, as icky as the energy is, as blah as it is, this too shall pass. All right? And you're not alone. And there are good days ahead. All right? Hang in there. And I will definitely see you tomorrow. Take care.